Hello and welcome back to another video. This time we're going to be talking about Ashran, and specifically some interesting items that were recently data mined in a build of, well, of the alpha. The build came out about yesterday, which was a great time because of course I had an exam right after it, but we found out some awesome stuff. So there are 3 items that have special effects and then some rather funny looking items. So first of all, we have the staff for priests. It's called Nozarau Staff of the Heavens, and when you look at its stats, it's pretty decent, you know, it's your typical staff. However, when you look at its on-use ability, it says, ascend into the air, keeping you out of harm's way, lasts 30 seconds, 1 minute 30 second cooldown, and it's only usable in Ashran. So this basically lets you fly? Maybe? I'm only in Ashran, but that's really damn cool. It seems maybe like a super levitate. Nice thing for the priest, I suppose. There's another interesting item for the paladins. Now this is awesome. It's called Royan the Jailer's Gavel, and its on-use effect is that it will. Actually, its use effect is that it will teleport a enemy player to your own faction's prison on a 3-minute cooldown. What does that tell us? Well, your faction now has a prison. I've got no idea how the prisons work. I've got no idea if it's just something you can put players into, or maybe this is only a paladin thing. But I think that's a really, really cool idea. Now, obviously, Blizzard would have to put some sort of gameplay within the prison. I'd imagine that they might just have the prison be guarded by NPCs, so when you're teleported to a prison, you just sort of fight your way out through the NPCs. Maybe it's something like that. But they could do some really cool stuff. They can make it so that a prison is actually decently, well, how about they make it so that you could just escape via a hearth-like item that would take you back to your base, or you could mount a daring escape, killing the enemy guards and doing a prison, like a prison riot or prison break, so you could free everyone, and then the NPCs that you free could maybe head towards the enemy base or something. I think this prison mechanic's actually the most fascinating thing that I've found out from these items, so I really would like to hear more about it. I'm not too sure what other sort of things they could do, and for some reason, this whole prison idea reminded me of Castle Wars and RuneScape. I'm not particularly sure why, because they don't seem that connected, but still, there's cool gameplay in there for sure. Now next, there are some boots for hunters. These are, honestly, like coming from my perspective as a hunter, absolutely bloody absurd. It says, disengage no longer has a cooldown. That would mean that you could disengage on the global cooldown. If you combine that with post-haste, actually, post-haste wouldn't even matter. If you combine that with the glyph of disengage, it would mean that you don't have flying hunters because you can't disengage, but you have these weird ground-skittering creatures that have bows that just sort of hop along the mountain. And if there was like a capture the flag and you had some of these treads on, I imagine the on-use effect would be disabled. But yeah, that seems like an absolutely crazy ability. I don't know if that's going to, actually end up in the game like that. Honestly, I think it would be too much. There would need to be some sort of cooldown associated with that, because you could not be disengaging all the time. Maybe if they were to just say, on Ashran only, double the, well, not double, half the cooldown of your disengage, or do something like that, that'd be kind of cool. Still, though, overall, looking pretty nice. Now, the next set of items is pretty damn awesome, actually. It certainly is. We have a human bone chip, a blood elf ear, a tuft of gnome hair, which should obviously be burned for safety, a dwarf spine, a goblin nose, a severed night elf head, a Pandaren hide, an orc tooth, a Draenor tail, troll feet, worgen snout, forsaken brains, and a tauren hoof. Interesting. They've got some funny little bits of flavor text on them. The tauren hoof says gummy bear's secret ingredient. The Forsaken is still warm and pulsing. The worgen is, well, it just says this thing won't be making that annoying sound any longer, which is certainly true. The troll one says that the smell could be used to repel all other kinds of beasts. The Draenor tail one says ground up it makes a potent aphrodisiac. Great. The orc tooth makes a great spearhead. You know what? I don't contest with that. That's absolutely true. The Pandaren hide, of course, according to this, would make a great foyer carpet. Absolutely, that's what we should do with Pandaren. Not pandas. Pandas are real and cute, but Pandaren, we should skin them, we should turn them into coats, and we should put them on the foyer. It'd be really nice. You could have a swag pad, because that's what we all want. The Severed Night Elf head is apparently the perfect Wintervale tree topper, I cannot disagree. The Goblin nose sadly doesn't have anything. The Dwarf spine says short but stout. The Gnome hair said great for Blood Elf wigs. Well, look, it's a bit of gnome hair, it's really great for nothing. The Blood Elf ear says great for cosplay, and the Human Bone chip says it makes fashionable orc jewellery. So, these are just funny little items. And they say on them, bind when used. So, these are going to be tied into some sort of gameplay, I'd imagine. They are item level 650 with a requirement of level 100, so no idea exactly what they're for. But honestly, I think these would be really cool as, well, just a currency. Imagine if you could turn in a bunch of Tauren hooves and then get a Tauren's head mounted on the wall of your garrison. Like, I'm sorry, but that would be absolutely amazing. I love that. These could be used as some sort of interesting currency. Hopefully it's not just like, right-click on your Tauren hoof to get plus 50 rep with the Ashran faction. No, that'd be boring. They should tie these into cool little items and gameplay and things like that. But overall, I think it's a pretty damn fantastic idea. And I love it when Blizzard put fun little things like this in that kind of make sense, in a way. Because you're killing Blood Elves. Fair enough, pick up one of their ears and, well, according to them, cosplay with it. Overall, yep, really cool. I can't wait to see more of these items, though. Like the things like that Priest staff, the Paladin, Gavel, and the Hunter boots. They seem crazy, and I'd actually be a little bit worried that if Ashran was full of items like that, it would just be insane. You know, you'd have priests flying everywhere, having crazy Tron light battles in the sky, all the hunters would just be bouncing around the place like a crowd of idiots, and it's not like as if hunters like myself need any more encouragement to be idiots, and paladins are just going around trolling everyone by teleporting them to the jail. There would have to be some sort of restriction on this, and I know a 3-minute cooldown is okay in theory, but look, PvP can often last more than 3 minutes. If you're against 4 paladins and each one of them just teleports away one of your healers, it's a little bit of a problem. So I really do hope that they don't allow their ambition to make extremely fun items get in the way of the actual PvP gameplay, because as much as Ashran is supposed to be a bit of fun, I think that it also needs to be a viable PvP experience. It's got a lot of depth. And because really, a paladin just teleporting you to jail, that's not a thing you could have prevented. It's like if a paladin bubbles, okay, maybe you feel cheated, but you know what? The warrior in your arena team can pop that bubble. There's something you can always do to the, or against, you know, to counter the various abilities in World of Warcraft. But something as simple as, pop, you're in jail now. It's a little bit much. It's a little bit much. So, yeah, look, they have interesting ideas, and I'm sure that once we get into the beta and start playtesting the hell out of Warlords, that things will get found out, and it will all be balanced. Though, look, the potential for fun is just great here. I hope they don't mess it up, but I really want the fun to remain. Anyway, that is it for this video, so if you are a sane person, you will stay tuned to the channel, because all the Warlords of Draenor information is breaking pretty quickly, and I intend on covering all of it in a prompt manner. And with all that fun pimping of my own channel said, thank you very much for watching, hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time.